African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the August 9, 2024. From August 3 to August 9, 2024, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out 19 group strikes with high-precision weapons and attack unmanned aerial vehicles, which resulted in the destruction of enterprises of the Ukrainian defense industry and related energy sector facilities, airfield infrastructure, air defense systems, assembly shops, and storage sites for attack UAVs. In addition, the following were damaged: fuel bases, weapons and ammunition depots, areas where reserves of the Ukrainian armed forces are concentrated, temporary deployment points for units of nationalist formations and foreign mercenaries. Over the course of a week, 55 Ukrainian servicemen surrendered on the contact line. Units of the North Group of Forces continue to repel attempts by the Ukrainian armed forces to invade the territory of the Russian Federation in the Kursk direction. Army aviation strikes and artillery fire are stopping raids by enemy units deep into Russian territory. In total, during the fighting in this area, the enemy lost up to 945 servicemen and 102 armored vehicles, including 12 tanks, 17 armored personnel carriers, 6 infantry fighting vehicles, 67 armored combat vehicles, as well as 12 cars, 2 self-propelled launchers of the Buk M1 anti-aircraft missile system, and 3 field artillery guns. In addition, the group's units in the Volchansk and Lipsov directions inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the mechanized, motorized infantry, as well as 2 assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, and 3 territorial defense brigades. 7 counterattacks of assault groups of the Armed Forces of Ukraine were repelled. Over the week, the enemy's total losses in the area of responsibility of the North Group of Forces amounted to 1,650 servicemen, 14 tanks, 92 combat armored vehicles, 45 cars, and 33 field artillery guns. 2 self-propelled launchers of the Buk M1 anti-aircraft missile system, 6 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, as well as 8 field ammunition depots were destroyed. During the week, units of the West Group of Forces occupied more advantageous lines and positions, defeated the formations of 6 mechanized, assault, airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and 3 territorial defense brigades. 9 counterattacks of Ukrainian Armed Forces units were repelled. The enemy lost up to 3,260 troops, 4 tanks, including 2 Leopards made in Germany, 12 armored combat vehicles, 68 cars, 45 field artillery pieces, including 15 155mm self-propelled artillery units and howitzers made in the USA, Great Britain, Germany, and Poland, in a week. In addition, 7 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, as well as 16 field ammunition depots, were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Forces improved the position along the front line, inflicted damage on the manpower and equipment of 4 mechanized, 4 assault, motorized infantry, 2 airmobile brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and 2 territorial defense brigades. 7 counterattacks by enemy assault groups were repelled. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 4,240 servicemen, a tank, 6 combat armored vehicles, 47 cars, a RAK-SA-12 MLRS launcher made in Croatia, 47 field artillery pieces, including 18 howitzers and self-propelled artillery units of 155mm caliber made by NATO countries. 7 electronic warfare stations and 7 field ammunition depots were also destroyed. As a result of active actions by units of the Center Group of Forces, the settlements of Timofeevka, Novosolovka Pravaya, and Veseloid of the Donetsk People's Republic were liberated within a week. The tank, 5 mechanized, infantry, 2 assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 territorial defense brigades, and the light assault brigade of the National Police of Ukraine were defeated. 22 counterattacks by enemy units were repelled. Over the week, the enemy's losses in this area amounted to 2,520 servicemen, 2 tanks, 17 armored combat vehicles, including 2 U.S.-made Bradley infantry fighting vehicles and a German-made Marder infantry fighting vehicle, and 5 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers, 27 vehicles, 24 field artillery pieces, and 3 electronic warfare and counter-battery warfare stations. Units of the East Group of Forces occupied more advantageous positions, defeated the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized and motorized infantry brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade. 4 counterattacks of assault groups of the Armed Forces of Ukraine were repelled. The enemy lost up to 760 servicemen, 4 tanks, 3 combat armored vehicles, 48 cars, 19 field artillery pieces, including 13 Western-made howitzers and self-propelled artillery units of 155 mm caliber. 5 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations were destroyed, as well as 8 field ammunition depots. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on formations of a mechanized, infantry, mountain assault brigade, a marine brigade, and 3 territorial defense brigades. An attempt to land a sabotage and reconnaissance group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on the Kinbren Spit was prevented. As a result of active actions by units of the Dnieper Group of Forces, the landing force was destroyed. Over the course of a week, the Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 550 servicemen, a tank, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, 44 vehicles, 20 field artillery pieces, including 6 155 mm M777 howitzers made in the USA. 4 electronic warfare stations and 6 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of the groups of troops of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation destroyed 2 MiG-29 fighters of the Ukrainian Air Force, 3 combat vehicles of the Czech-made Vampire multiple launch rocket system, 2 launchers of the S-125 anti-aircraft missile system, as well as 3 radar stations, including MPQ-65 made in the USA and 2 P-18. Over the past week, air defense systems have shot down 3 Ukrainian Air Force fighters, 2 MiG-29 and Su-27, 4 French-made Scalp EG air-launched cruise missiles, 14 U.S.-made Adams operational tactical missiles, a French-made Hammer guided air bomb, 2 U.S.-made Patriot anti-aircraft missiles, 72 MRs, Vampire, and Alka rockets, as well as 668 unmanned aerial vehicles. Tonight, the Black Sea Fleet repelled an attack by 7 unmanned boats on the Sevastopol naval base. During the repelling of the attack, all unmanned boats were destroyed. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 637 aircraft, 278 helicopters, 29,507 unmanned aerial vehicles, 563 anti-aircraft missile systems, 17,004 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,399 multiple launch rocket systems, 13,050 field artillery pieces and mortars, 24,562 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.